friends, it's Lori and welcome to my garden and to my channel. So if you're new here, I'm at Zone 7B Garden outside the DC area, and I'm so glad you're visiting today. So it's a little cool today, in the 40s, but the sun is out and I just had to get out into the garden. So I walked through the garden, came up to the shade garden just to kind of walk around, take a look, see how things are doing. It has been brutally cold here, so we went into a deep freeze really quick this winter. I'm so glad I had time to come out and mulch, kind of protect the shade garden, because after you blow all the leaves off, it really needs that protection. So as I was walking out here today, I thought I would just come on and say hello. And I was actually walking and thinking about this space. This is one of my favorite garden spaces, and it's really been coming to life. So I thought while I was out here today, I would just show you a few things that look beautiful in the dead of winter. I'd also talk to you about some of my projects for the new year. And then I'm just gonna add on the clip of the shade garden project that I did this year. So if you haven't seen it, maybe it gives you some ideas. You can also see the shade garden in all its beauty. I also have a shade garden playlist. So if you are looking at growing, adding to, developing a shade garden, check that out. This garden has been in process for four and a half years now. It'll be 5 years next spring. And it's just evolved slowly. And I've really enjoyed developing it and building it out. But there's some fun things I want to add to it. So let me turn the camera around. I'm just going to tell you about a few things. If you have ideas of things you've done in your garden, I would love to hear about it. I've got 2 areas that I want to make an impact in this space for next year. All right, let's take a little walk and then I'll share that video with you. So stay tuned for that. So right now the shade garden, of course, has been put to sleep. I was able to get out and mulch right before it got really cold, thank goodness. So everything is tucked in. Now the hellebores have their old foliage and there is some new growth popping up. Look at all this. Some new buds coming up from the ground, which is really positive. You want to see that, even though it's been so cold. Now this hellebore is always pretty quick to put on some new growth. I don't see anything. Well, yeah, I do. See these little buds? Yeah, it's one of the earlier hellebores. So that's fun. I have several hellebores. I would love to add more into this garden. Over here, so in this space, I do have some ferns that they don't get too ugly in the wintertime. And then I have some very large hellebores that this one is a little later, so I don't see any new growth just yet. Now, I do not cut back the hellebore foliage until, late winter, early spring, once all the new growth comes up. It does help protect the plant to keep the foliage on, but you can see over here, we've got a new little plant popping up. Now, this fern, I don't know which one this is, but it has stayed evergreen, and I need to identify it, and I'd love to add more along the back. And then I have a fern up here that's done okay, considering it's in a container and how cold it is. So that's done okay. And in this space, I do have this little pine tree that I love. I just think it does add some winter interest. And the spirea with its foliage still on. And I did leave my hydrangea back there near the car. I did leave the blooms on that. It's an Annabelle. It did not flop, so I left the blooms, which does give some beautiful winter color. In the back, I left my ferns because it was really warm for quite a while, but they need to come out. So I may tackle that today. We'll see if I feel like it. And then I have these rhododendrons back here, and they have set their buds for spring. So beautiful buds. I have babied these plants. I don't think they were the healthiest when I got them. And you can see they don't have a lot of buds yet. Now this one looks like it's coming out. There's some on there. I've never had a big show of these. So I'm hoping maybe this year, it'll be year 4, that I will get a bigger show. But they're doing okay. They don't do great back here. And I think that it's I think the pine trees and other trees take the nutrients from the soil, and maybe the acid is off. I probably should test it. But anyway, they're back here. And a little update on the woodland scene I created. It still looks pretty, and the fairy garden. All right, so the projects I want to tackle this year. So first is this space. I clean this space up and then it just becomes a mess again. It is just non-stop. I've also stored a bunch of things back here because we need to clean up behind the fence, which is definitely a sunny day project. What I'd like to do though is maybe get a really large container for behind the rhododendron, because again, if these guys live, I don't know that they're ever going to get huge. They're very slow growing. I'm not worried about the rhododendrons, so don't put that into consideration. But I want to get a really large container and put a tree in that corner. I just think that corner needs to be softened. So that's one idea I have, would be a tree. The second idea would be I can move this table so it does not have to stay here. I'd really like to do some type of plant wall. So whether it's hanging some hay racks or a trellis with something growing on it, I just would like this space, which is very visible. So when you walk through the shade garden, you see the sweet table and you see the hanging baskets, and then you see that corner, and it's just an eyesore. So I'm going to start sketching out on some paper some ideas. And really, I have room for my pots to be stored back in this back area. And so I think that's what I want to do, is I've got space between the two sheds, because we actually have two sheds, to do some storage for containers. And I don't even have to keep this potting bench. It is, it's not wood. My mom had it. I don't know, it's probably at least 8 years old at this point. We've definitely gotten our money's worth, and I know my dear neighbor would love it. So I'm not going to put that into the factor either. Like, I want to think about this space with fresh eyes, and it really is a visible corner. So if you have ideas, let me know. All right, the second space is I moved this large planter from the driveway this year, and I decided to save it. I was going to recycle it, repurpose it, do something with it, but I decided to save it, and my son actually had an idea to bring it up here to put on this hill. So this is at the edge of our property line, but it's not a problem for me to have it right there. So I decided to put it here, and what I'm envisioning, because the hydrangeas that I planted are going to stay smaller this year, they are not going to get huge. So I thought this container would add some height, some interest, and I'm envisioning it full of ferns and maybe white impatiens. I maybe can do some sun patience. It does get more sun than the rest of the shade garden. I just want it full and lush. I also want to do some perennials, so ferns, hostas, things that will come back, which will save money, and I may even be able to divide some of my plants. So if you have suggestions or ideas, I'm also trying to get my hands on some impatiens seeds so that I could start my own impatiens and be able to grow them back in this container. So that's probably project number 2. And that's probably it for the shade garden that is going to be new for the coming year. I just want to tackle those 2 spots. And then of course, I'll be continuing to tuck plants into the space as I go. All right, friends, well, I'm going to go get some gloves on so that I can do a little bit of work out here today while it is sunny. I feel like I just need to soak up this sunshine while it's here. So we're now going to take a look backwards. I'm going to attach the video when I finish this shade garden expansion project. And I hope that you enjoy just seeing all the beautiful plants, how it turned out, and maybe it will spark an idea that you can share with me for these 2 spaces that I'm going to work on in 2026. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this look back, and I'll see you soon. Hi friends, it's Lori with Main Street Gardener, and welcome to my shade garden. So today I'm excited to give you the grand tour of the Shade Garden along with the new expanded garden space. So I thought it would be fun to just show you how the flow now works in the Shade Garden, a little bit about my vision for this space. I've got the core plants in the ground, but of course there's still lots more planting to come in the months and years to follow. I'm really going to be developing this new area as I can throughout the seasons. So I haven't done a full Shade Garden tour in a while, so I thought we would just walk through. If you're only interested in the finale of the expansion project, you can skip ahead. But I also wanted to remind you, if you haven't seen part 1 and part 2 of this garden project, there's a link in the description. All right, so it is super humid. I see the gnats and mosquitoes flying, so I'm just gonna get right to it. Let's get started. So as you walk up to it, we did add the pea gravel last fall, and it's edged with bricks actually from our property. And at the entrance, I have 2 gorgeous spireas. These are the Oh Doozy, Double Doozy. They have the pink blooms, and they are just stunning. They don't mind the shade. They do get this morning sun, and it's a perfect spot. I also have this, it's the Jardin trellis, and it is from Gardener Supply. It matches the one I have in the front, and I really love its rustic quality. So I started a clematis on it that is actually taking off this year already. It's brand new. I also have a sweet white rose. It's a shade climber from Heirloom Roses, and it is already doing great as well. So in years to come, this will be just full and lush. Now, as you enter this shade garden, you immediately see the main garden kind of bed. And I created the path a couple years ago. And as you come around, you kind of see the full garden. It also backs up to the planting on the driveway side. And our gorgeous holly tree is kind of the focal point in this garden space. Now, this main garden bed was only put in about 3 years ago. And I've been adding plants each season to really bring it to life. So there's still some spots where I'm going to be popping in some ground cover this year, but these plants are going to continue to grow and thrive. Now, if you take a peek behind and you can see where the sunlight is hitting, this is the expansion project. Before, there was nothing but just mulch, weeds, some chairs, but imagine this with those hydrangeas, full size. They're going to get 5 to 6 feet tall. But before we head there, let's go ahead and walk the path. This was my original shade garden. So I started this space when we first started reconstructing our property all the way in spring of 2022. So you can see how amazing it looks. It's really not that many plants, but the Brunnera right here is just stunning. It gets a little bit larger every year. Now, I don't have it spreading invasively. These are just 2 plants. You can see I've tucked in some ground cover. We've got some really fun plants, lots of hostas. I love to mix the colors, and I actually think back behind my little hay rack, I need to add a brighter hosta back there. So that's going to be on the list before fall. Now, this limey colored hydrangea that looks a little sad is a Annabelle, and she's already had her full show, and then she turns this kind of chartreuse green. Now, I have cut back some blooms because sometimes you can get a second flush in the fall. So we'll see what happens. On the wall here, I have a climbing hydrangea. She's going a little crazy. I think I need to put up a line along the edge so that she can grow. I've never had blooms. She's been here 4 years. Somebody told me that it took theirs 7 years to bloom. I don't know, but it's okay. I love the lushness. She's thriving, she's growing, so we're gonna keep her there. And this little studio shed I use as a floral space. So I make arrangements, I do some photography, I store all my containers. It used to be a garden type shed, and I use it now for my gardening supplies as well as floral containers. This hay rack was from Kinsman Garden Center, and it's just filled with ferns and heuchera and hostas and things that I can take out of the garden in the fall, or I could leave in for a second season. So this space has really come together. It is such a bright spot and just lush. And, you know, I don't have to really worry about weeds. It's really beautiful. And then I have these 3 containers right here. I do also have my potting bench in the back full of supplies, but you can. So as we walk along, let me highlight though first a couple plants in this main garden space, kind of like a jelly bean. So right now, the Sun King Aurelia is just spectacular. It's one of my favorites. The Lamian that I planted is just taking off and blooming. Such a nice accompaniment. Now you can see I've got some spots along here. These hostas stay relatively small, so I'm going to be adding some more ground cover. I did pop in a fern this year in between. It just hasn't done well. I have iffy success with ferns. I'm not sure why in this garden. It may be the acid. But we're going to pop some grasses and maybe some more things to fill that spot in. Now I do have a vision. I'm going to be moving this blue container. It doesn't match the new theme of the garden. I'm going to be moving it to my main garden space. And I've ordered an incredible hydrangea for this area. I'm going to try a Haas Halo. I've wanted one for a long time, and I think that's going to be the perfect spot. I also have a Limelight right there that is coming along. It was a baby, and it's doing okay out here.